I'm with Craig Breen, who has just signed on for his recce starting tomorrow on the Donnelly Group IRC Circuit of Ireland. Craig, a change of car for you this weekend, running the Santalock S 2207. It's had some enhancements. Can you describe what it's had for us in terms of updates?
It's difficult for me because I've never driven the unupdated car insofar as I came in and tested the car after all the evolutions had come on. But basically the car is now running with a wider track, which in theory probably makes it a little bit more difficult to try and batter down the lanes here. It's going to make it quite difficult, but seemingly it's made the car a lot more stable, and there's been various little upgrades throughout the car. Okay, it was probably a good thing for me that I got into the car, as it is now in the 2012 Evolution, and got my setup from it without having to drive the previous car and then adapt. So it's all going well so far, and I think the car is really well suited for the lanes, which I think people didn't think it would be. But I was pleasantly surprised when we got it out of the traps yesterday morning for a test, and it's gone really well so far.
In comparison to the Ford that you normally drive, what are the differences that you've noticed? Does it brake differently coming into the corner? Is it better out of the corner?
It's difficult to pinpoint anything. They've all got their upsides and downsides. I won't even say downfall. They're both fantastic cars, but I think the Peugeot was very much a tarmac racing car. And I know not to say that it's going to fall flat in its face when it gets to gravel. I've driven it on gravel and it's exceptionally good, but it feels very well balanced, very stable, more like a go-kart. And perhaps for the likes of Corsica or these very smooth rallies, it'll be good. But on the bumps here, it's a little bit difficult to drive sometimes. But it's not undrivable. It just, you have to be a little bit more on the pipe. Whereas with the Fiesta, we could get a lot more travel in the dampers and stuff, and it was a little bit more predictable about what was going to happen with the car. And it was a bit lazy. But then when he got to wide open fast stuff, he didn't have the same feeling and the same balance in how the car is performing. So they both got their good potential sides, and I think the Peugeot was a very good package to win this weekend.
No, I was talking to Kenny McKinstry earlier this morning, and they've done the recce for the event last weekend. He said a lot of the stages are narrow, tight and twisty. Do you think the extra track in the Peugeot will be a slight issue, or will be of benefit in terms of stability on the stages?
I can't see it being a hindrance. I think it's going to be still a very competitive car. It's not going to be night and day. It's only a couple of millimetres. So tight and twisty stages is what Ireland's all about, so I don't think it's going to be a massive issue, and we'll get the recce out of the way, and we'll have a bit of a debrief and see what way we can change the setup maybe to help, but I don't think anything this weekend is going to throw up any big issues. Now,
I was lucky enough to join Skoda for testing Monday and Tuesday of this week, and quite frequently the fact that Irish drivers could be their nearest competitors. I mean, both Juho and Jan mentioned yourself and Alistair Fisher as their biggest threat. Now, you're from 250 miles in reality further south in Ireland, and people perceive this as your local event. And in fairness to you, it's not really a local event. Conditions-wise, yes, it's like that, but it's not really a local event. It's going to be damp, it's going to be wet. Is it going to be difficult in terms of tactics? Is it going to be flat out on Friday night? And does that theory of people thinking you're a local favourite put added pressure on you?
Yeah, that's unfortunately what people are picking up. The minute Ireland is mentioned, they think that well, Ireland's only a small country, you can't be that far away. But I'm probably the polar opposite to where this rally is on. And I've done the event twice before. The first time in a little Fiesta ST, and I only got the first day done on a different region of stages. And the second time I done it in the Super 2000 car, we crashed on the second stage again in a different area. So, I've really got no knowledge of the stages. I've got no knowledge of even the region where the rally is on, apart from I done gravel notes with my dad when he was doing it in I think 07 or 08 or something like that, maybe a bit before that. So it's really new for me. All the stages are going to be completely unfamiliar. So coming from that perspective, it's difficult because everyone is just presuming he knows where he's going. He knows exactly what's going to happen. But I'm probably in the same position. Okay, and I'm slightly better, as you said. I know what the terrain is like, and nothing will be completely surprising. But I think get the recce under my belt like I do any other event, approach it the very same way. And I don't think I can afford to just flaff around on Friday evening and pick up the pieces on Saturday. I need to be pushing hard from the beginning of the rally on Friday.
Okay, and finally to finish off with, last weekend on an event we were talking on the radio about everybody remembers their first ever memory of motorsport. I mean, for me personally, it was probably 1968 Ulster Rally. I saw White Mark 1 Escort, and that was when I got the injection of being a rallying fan. How, do you remember your first memory, your first memory that stands out for you of motorsport?
Well, my dad was my hero when I was a kid, and when I say a kid, I mean 3, 4, 5 years of age. He was doing the national championship in Ireland, and I can remember the first one was Ballina was always the first round of the national championship, and setting out, it's probably so illegal now, setting out in the back of a transit van, stacked full of wheels and tyres, and coming to a police checkpoint, and a man was driving the van, standing on the brakes, and there was wheels and tyres, and I was trying to sleep on a bench in the back, and I loved every minute of it. And as I said, Dad won a national championship in Ireland for about 10 years, and eventually 10 years later he won the championship in 2005. So I went with him to every single rally from when I was 3, 4, 5 years of age, and I sat in the back of the car while they were doing the recce. I didn't miss one rally. I sat in the back of the car, and as I've said before to people, to any other kid that was, God, I have to go in the back of the car and sleep and and wait for him. I was sitting bolt upright, listening to everything that was going on, and asking questions all the time. I was completely unraveling in the sport of rallying, and I just didn't want to let it go. And each Friday when Dad had finished work, he'd come and collect me from school, and we'd head off on a Friday evening, to Ballina or to Galway or to Kerry or Munster. All the rallies, I went everywhere with him, and I just became so passionate for the sport. And now eventually I'm at this level. I just want to give it everything.
No, I think it's terrific, and look, I really do wish you well for the weekend, and so does everybody from iRally Radio. Craig Green, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really looking forward to the weekend.